from baloney masks to robots and artificial wombs and flippy arms and.
Wow, this is a great segue.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Okay, folks, it's time for the Flippy update. If you're new to the show, Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world, and just how there's nothing we can do about it. Today, this is coming from independent.co.uk, mirrored through yahoo.com. And the headline is Chinese scientists build robot nanny to care for babies in artificial womb. A lot there, Gonz. So let me learn you something. Scientists in China have created a robotic artificial intelligence system to monitor and care for human embryos growing in artificial wombs. The AI robot is being developed as a potential solution to population growth problems in the world's most populous country, with birth rates recently falling to their lowest level in 6 decades. Researchers at the Suzhou Institute of Biomedical Engineering and Technology in China's eastern Jiangsu province developed the robot to undertake the labor-intensive task of observing, documenting, and manually adjusting the carbon dioxide, nutrition, and other environmental inputs. It is also able to rank embryos by their development potential, according to the South China Morning Post, who first reported on the device. Okay, so I'm going to continue in a second, but there is so much
I know
hidden in just that first little thing.
Yeah.
So first of all, this is mainly an artificial intelligence system, not strictly a robotic arm. Okay.
Yeah.
But still a big deal, which is why we're bringing it to the Flippy update. Just the casual dropping of growing embryos, to like bringing them to term in artificial wombs. They don't even go into like, oh, scientists can now just grow a full test tube baby. Because of course, you know, artificial insemination is one thing, but artificial womb, where the embryo grows to a fetus, which comes to term as a baby, all outside of the body, is the thing of science fiction. And as far as I am aware, Gonz, and it feels like we would be aware of this, the artificial womb itself is still not as much of a reality as sort of the full apocalyptic view of its existence would be. But is this them sort of casually announcing that they can like do the full womb thing now?
I think the last time we reported on the artificial womb, they were testing on the show. They were testing something with like the spin or something, and they could keep them alive longer than they had before or something like that. So I recall something like that with the artificial womb, but maybe it progressed so much because that was probably last year. So within the last couple of years, at least, there are, if I'm not mistaken, depending on where these experiments are taking place, there are rules as to how far you can develop certain embryos. So coming from China, where there's no rule, or at least, you know,
they would have the most lax regulations.
The governments would be pushing for it to find out how they can genetically dominate the world. Yeah.
And, you know, it's a big deal because, of course, a government with the power to just manufacture human beings in an artificial womb at scale is, I mean, that is full on like Attack of the Clones, like Star Wars clone army style manufacturing of human beings. So anywho, they kind of just drop that casually. That, like, the artificial wombs are here and they're doing great. Then
the population growth problem.
Yes, they mentioned that China, because of their previous one family, one child policy, their population, although the largest, you know, population by nation in the world, I believe, or at least at the top of the list somewhere, having an issue with not enough population, while the West is obsessed with lowering the population, shows a lot about long-term planning.
Yep.
This is not a politics or geopolitical, China section of the show, but it's just a lot is being said in very few words.
Plus the whole notion of like, hey, our birth rates are falling, so machines, right?
Exactly.
Artificial wombs,
manufacturing. That's what China's best at.
These women don't want to go through pregnancy and all that. I mean, just manufacture it through the technology.
Or they're just not doing it fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
They're
not good enough.
Yeah. And then also the scary idea that this robot is able to rank embryos by their development potential. I mean, this is eugenics 101.
Eugenics and literally surveillance from the moment of life being conceived.
State autonomous digital surveillance.
100%.
Starting at the moment of conception.
Yeah.
In these artificial. Yeah. So spooky stuff. Okay, let's keep going. A research paper published in the Journal of Biomedical Engineering described how the robotic nanny has already been used to nurture animal embryos within an artificial womb environment. Quote, there are still many unsolved mysteries about the physiology of typical human embryonic development, the paper stated, adding that the technology would, quote, not only help further understand the origin of life and embryonic development of humans, but also a theoretical basis for solving birth defects and other major reproductive health problems. So from, taking care of a fetus in an artificial womb to this artificial intelligence, again, the black box of the robotic mind, helping us understand the origin of life. Talk about the scientism there.
Yeah.
Of, hey, you want to know where life came from, why we're here? Well, our AI told us after taking care of some babies, whatever it tells us,
right.
That we were manifested through a digital singularity that appeared when the aliens seeded our planet or something like that. According to the paper, the system allows the fetus to grow more safely and efficiently than it does within the natural setting of a woman's womb. Sorry, ladies. We need more safety and efficiency.
Wow. That is
your baby
so
making
offensive.
Is not efficient enough, women. We need the robots to...
That is amazing. How is this being published in The Independent?
The Independent. It is a specific attack on the miracle of a woman's body to create life out of basically nothing. I mean, there's a little something added to the mix, of course, but you can't have a woman carry a child. That's not safe or efficient.
That is incredible. I'm very appalled by
it. Goes all the way, man. Yeah. It's like, and this is in the paper. Yeah. It's not even just like...
It's science.
This is in the paper. Then it's
science is truth.
Okay, that's not all. There's a little bit more here. The technology is evocative of the mechanical nanny described in the short story Daisy's Patent Automatic Nanny from the acclaimed 2019 collection Exhalation by Ted Chiang. Okay. In the story, a child raised exclusively by an automatic nanny grows up to be incapable of interacting with other humans. No kidding. So we'll see how that works out. While the Chinese researchers have proved that the technology could be used safely for the development of embryos, there are still legal obstacles in place that would prevent it from being used on human fetuses beyond 2 weeks of development. So there's that regulation you were talking about before. But, the regulation... regulation adjusts to the state of the science.
Well, not just that, but also the social state of the world can pressure the changes to occur faster.
And part of it is once the science can take it past the 2 weeks, they'll petition for regulation change. So the regulation means nothing. And, there was regulations against Dr. Ha to not CRISPR some babies. And he went ahead and did it anyways. Yeah. So there you go. You know, when we talk about how FLIPPY is taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses, this is quite literally
it's all of it, all the above.
Exactly. Yes, they're getting involved from conception to enslave the children into the panopticon police surveillance state, manufacturing our children specifically to make efficiently and safely to make them good cogs in the wheel. Thanks, FLIPPY.
Yay.